Leonardo, a lot of actors started their careers with commercials. There's a famous Volkswagen commercial with Dustin Hoffman. Now, you've done some commercials too. What memorable ones stick out in your mind?
Probably the Bubble Yum commercial where I go. Everyone, when I first started getting into commercials, everyone came up, "Hey, you're the Keeps It Poppin' kid, huh?" And I'm like, "Yeah." You know, little things like that. You know, people recognize you from stuff like that. That's probably my most famous commercial.
Now, with Growing Pains, when you first got your first fan letter, how did that feel? What are some examples of the more unusual fan letters you've gotten?
Well, there's some pretty weird fan letters. I mean, I got quite a variety of them, and all kinds of ones. People cursing you out. People giving all kinds of lovey-dovey little girls giving lovey-dovey little cute things that they write, little hearts, and I don't want to say they're funny, but some of them are they really crack me up. But it's nice to get that kind of attention.
Okay. Now, doing the Critters 3 film, I imagine the budget was a little different. Now, what was the biggest difference doing that film as opposed to doing this one?
Well, basically, in my opinion, everything that I've done before This Boy's Life is just so far, not, I don't want to say below, but doing Boy's Life was such a step up in my career and such a difference. I mean, it's like real acting as opposed to just, being cute or whatever. You know what I mean,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, it's just such a step up doing this film.
Now, one thing about this film that struck me are all the scenes, people smoking, you smoking, people smoking around you, and that's the type of thing that drives me nuts. Now, how is that for you?
Well, doing a film in the 50s, you have to remember smoking, people didn't know smoking was as bad as it is today, But, it was like a common thing, kids had to do it to be cool, and parents did it because, the smooth, rich flavor, whatever they advertised. But it was a lot different back then, so you have to take that into account.
Was it a little uncomfortable for you, though, with all that cigarette smoke around you working?
Taking a stride.
Now, I really like old cars, and I've met a lot of owners of old cars, and they treat their cars like kids. Now, how did the owners of the cars...
Yeah, they were pretty serious about it. I mean, these are like real classic, cherried-up cars, and we had to do... You saw the scene where the car smashed into the other one. Just like, I was like, why did you ruin that beautiful car? But, I love old cars, too, and, people were very like, well, touch this, but not that.
When I was growing up, when I was your age, people were always giving me advice, whether I asked for it or not. Now, when you're on a movie set, what kind of advice did you get from Robert De Niro, and how did that differ from Ellen Barkin?
Well, they don't exactly sit me down and say, well, this is how to act. I mean, they know I have to do it on my own without their help, but working with them, you learn a lot. I mean, you sit there and you feed off their emotions, and you give them emotions, and they feed off that. And just being in that whole atmosphere around not only the actors, but the director and the crew and everything like that, you learn so much. I mean, it's just a big learning experience, basically.
On the press bus yesterday, a lot of people were talking that they thought you have a good chance of maybe getting an Oscar nomination next year. Is that in the back of your mind?
Well, I can't deny that would be great. I mean, I'm not gonna, but it's not like the thing that I'm concerned with as far as this film goes. I just hope people think I do a good job, and if that comes along, that's fine. I mean, but I just want this film to not necessarily do well, but critically, I hope it does well, and I hope people enjoy the film and get something out of it. And if something like that comes along, I don't want to say it will or it won't, but I mean that'd be great. But it's not something I'm concerned with.
Okay. You talk about like critically doing well as opposed to financially.
Box office.
Yeah. Now a film like this, do you think it has maybe a little bit of a harder sell with people?
Oh yeah, I'd say so. People go to a movie to laugh, I suppose. I mean that's what not all the time, but I mean they want to go out. It's their day off. They want to see something that'll make them laugh. But you can't. This is also a very funny film in a lot of ways. There's a lot of stuff. I mean, it's so many dimensions to this film. I think people should go out there and see it because, I mean, it'll not only make them laugh, it'll make them cry, it'll make them feel like nervous, what's going to happen next. It's just an all-around, well-rounded film, so they can't deny that it's good.
Okay. And one last question. I have an interest in what actors do on location to make themselves more comfortable. What kind of routine do you follow when you go on location to make life a little bit easier?
Man, I just go in there and I just put on my makeup, and I don't really do anything. I get dressed in the morning, and bang, I just go in there and start acting, and then that warms me up. And if I'm not warmed up by then I'm screwed.
All right, great.
All right,
Yeah, thanks a lot.
thanks.